Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. After yesterday's video, I was both practically on the verge of dying of heat exhaustion, and I was immediately in a hurry. Now, the heat exhaustion, pretty obvious. I don't think I'm going to be wearing that many clothes in the video for a very long time. And it wouldn't be as bad, but yesterday was uncharacteristically nice out for the time of year. I mean, seriously, it was like 51 degrees out yesterday in late February. We never get that weather, which is good. I mean, we want it to be nice like this. Again, people have been complaining. People are always going to complain about how cold it is at this time of year, but man, we've been pretty lucky about what weather we've gotten. Right. So after I made yesterday's video, well, first things first, good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Yeah, you can have a happy Monday. I mean, technically we're still in Mardi Gras, so there's that. Anyway, after I made yesterday's video, getting it uploaded and doing all that stuff, I actually had called my father because I said I was going to church again, and I did. I actually went to church again on Sunday morning. And I called him because, I want to ask, what time it was. Because if you recall what I said yesterday, I had to pick up my grandmother. Well, it was supposed to be my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandfather didn't want to go out, so it was just my grandmother. But I had to be there at 12:30, which I was. But it was only like 10 o'clock in the morning when I pretty much finished the video I made for you guys. So really, I had like a lot of time to kill. So that's why I wanted to go to church. I was asking my father, what time church is, kill the time. Now, there was 11:30 in Corning, which I was heading up there anyway, so I could have done that. Or what I ended up really doing is I went to 10:30 at a place called St. Mary Our Mother. Now, St. Mary Our Mother is actually a very special place for me as well as my brother. And the main reason for that is it's actually where my brother and I went to elementary school. Yeah, from back when they had from kindergarten to 6th grade, that's why I went to elementary school. Yeah. So, a little bit of insight of my pre-Horseheads days. So, apparently St. Mary Mother is in the Horsehead School District, so, yeah, that works. With that being said, we are now at, keep in mind, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. Mass at St. Mary Mother starts at 10:30. I will admit, I ended up being like 5 minutes late for it. But there's a reason why I really went. Well, really a couple of reasons, but the main reason is, see, you guys know I am an uncle to twins, and my brother and his wife don't really go out very much, but they do want to go to church at the very least. So my father was watching the twins, that's where I was calling him from, and that's where he was answering me from, I should say, because I'm the one who called him. And they ended up going to 10:30, which made sense because my father was going to go to the 100-year anniversary of the Legion Auxiliary as well. So it made sense that, if my brother and his wife went at 10:30, they'd be done at 11:30, and so my father had all the time in the world to get to the Legion. So I ended up meeting my brother and my sister-in-law there. I got to sit by him. I say this. Yesterday was probably the first time in probably 15 years that both my brother and I were inside the confines of St. Mary Our Mother. Really. I think I'm pretty sure it's more, but I'll say at least 15 years. That's how, because he graduated He was the class of 2000. I was the class of 2002. Gives you some insight as to when we graduated. And I mean, we did stuff like CYO basketball and stuff. And there was the occasional time where, we didn't really have much of a choice. So I had to go to St. Mary Mother anyway. So if I'm doing this correctly, yeah, at least 15 years since both my brother and I were at St. Mary Mother. I'll tell you what, though, and keep in mind, I had been there you guys know I was there for Easter Vigil Mass a couple of years ago. I tell you what, though, being there really brought me back. It still brings me back. The blue carpeting that my father's flooring store did, it's still there. There's a giant statue of Jesus hanging on these like steel type strings or whatever, doing this. You can't really see it, but his arms are spread out like this. And yeah, felt good to be back. Actually saw some people that I know too. So maybe I might actually go to 10:30 Mass at St. Mary Mother. We'll see. We'll have to see. It'd be interesting to do. Be a fun way to kill my morning. I mean, I wouldn't be able to watch the Golden Girls in the morning, but I'd still be able to, actually I would be able to watch some of the Golden Girls. Honestly, what happened yesterday was nothing short of me being lazy and getting a late start in my day. But again, I was just so, fixated on the fact that, again, all day yesterday I had really nothing to do until I had to go pick up my grandmother that, why bother trying to rush things? Although now that I know what I know now, I don't think that came out right at all. Yes, now that I know what to do, I now have more options, which is awesome. So there was that. Now we actually get into the Legion itself. Relatively uneventful. I mean, if you ever go to one of these things at the Legion, they don't really give you money. I mean, there is a bar, but you gotta pay for drinks, and really, I don't want to do that. I mean, even if I did, I would only get Coke or soda or whatever because I'm the one because I did drive. But still, I don't have to pay for that. But luckily, they have dispensaries of coffee, water, and lemonade. The problem with the lemonade is it's one of those old-fashioned cooler type dispensary things where, yeah, you can clearly see the lemonade in there, but to keep it cold, they fill it with ice. The problem with that is over time the ice is going to melt, it's going to dilute the lemonade, and it ends up not being as good. So those are my options. And I just stuck with lemonade because you know what? I was getting so hungry at that time. I didn't really care. Well, keep in mind, this is around almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the only thing I had eaten at that time literally was the quote unquote body of Christ, which is one of those, church wafers. Yeah, apparently we're still in cold and flu season, so they're not doing the quote unquote blood of Christ or that sip of wine yet. Which makes sense, it's cold and flu season. We want to make sure people are safe. So, in terms of food, I mean, the bar actually has a free popcorn thing. That was really cool. But in terms of the actual food itself, with hors d'oeuvres, they had, veggies with ranch, cheese, pepperoni, and crackers for hors d'oeuvres. But the real stuff ended up being, what they were serving for the main meal. There was a salad. There was green beans with other vegetables. Hot green beans with other vegetables. Smashed potatoes. Those are really good. Stuffed shells. Chicken. But the best, easily hands down, the carving station where they were cutting roast beef. Because you can get as much horseradish as you want on there. I love it. Keep in mind, I love the fact the horseradish can do something as simple as wilt my fanny if you have too much of it in your mouth at once. I love it. I mean, clears out your sinuses, makes me like, whoo! But man, I love it. I love it so much. In fact, full disclosure, I once put horseradish when I made my mac and cheese once. Delicious. Actually, if people saw me make my mac and cheese, it'd be absolutely bonkers. Because I actually make mine sort of like buffalo style. Get like blue cheese in it. Get like Frank's hot sauce. I get the hottest hot sauce you can get at Frank's. Because that's what you gotta do. And I put horseradish in that. I love it so much. Don't worry though, I make it cheesy as well. You can't be mac and cheese without cheese. That'd make no sense at all. So, yeah. Let's put a little bit of mustard in there too. And actually, fun fact about something you can do with Frank's, and I actually saw this a couple days ago. Actually, more like a week ago and change. But believe it or not, there's actually a way you can make Frank's red hot sauce even better. No matter how spicy it is. Believe it or not, roast garlic. Yeah, get yourself some garlic, roast it in the oven, put that in your Frank's Red Hot. Then put that in your mac and cheese. Oh, man, that's awesome. For the record, my mac and cheese is a combination of something I've come up with and something that my mother does. Like, one thing my mother would do is she would take the casserole dish or the bowl that she was going to mix everything in. And first she would fill it with butter and onions. Have the butter melt with the onions to cook the onions a little bit. And she would put those onions with the rest of the mac and cheese. Which, hey, I love onions, so it works. I haven't been able to quite get it to how my mother tastes. But then again, I need to do my thing. Another thing is, my mother loves to use evaporated milk when she makes hers. Personally, I just go for the liquid gold and use pasta water, but that's just me. So, you guys just learn all sorts of cooking facts today, aren't you? Yes. So, long story short, yesterday was the one. Oh, by the way, there's also cake. They also had a cake from Wegmans and a cake from Sam's Club at the Legion. So that was really really nice. I got to meet a lot of really good people. I actually got to meet the mayor of South Corning. Yeah, good man. Really cool dude. Like that guy. So, in the end, it was a wonderful afternoon. It was nice seeing my family again, as it always is. Actually, learned a lot of neat stuff about, history, in terms of the veterans and, spouses and, or wives of veterans. Because that's actually what the Legion Auxiliary was. Originally, it was called the Women's Auxiliary. But then, I believe in 1931, they made it the Legion Auxiliary. So, yeah, it was 100 years. So 1919 to now, it's that kind of works. Although there actually is one funny story I think I have time to do. Okay, so my cousin was there, and she had, full disclosure, I want to point this out right now, she looked wonderful. She did. But for whatever reason, a couple people in my family were sort of making fun of her hairstyle. And I immediately thought back to my cousin's parents when they had either her father's 60th or their 30th wedding anniversary, where a joke was once said where a guy walks into his barber's place and he's getting his hair cut. And he tells his barber that he's going to be going to Italy, and he tells him what all his plans are. Like, they're going to go to the marketplaces, they're going to go to the Colosseum, they're going to go to the Vatican to try and see the Pope. And then the barber's like, oh, it's going to be busy, it's going to be crowded, you're not going to be able to see that at all. So the guy cuts his hair and, then he leaves. Then he comes back from his trip getting another haircut. And the barber asks how his time in Italy was. He asked, did you guys go to the market to see what you want? Yeah, and it actually wasn't very crowded at all. Were you able to go to the Coliseum? Yeah, it actually wasn't very crowded at all. Were you able to go to the Vatican to see the Pope? Yeah, it was surprisingly empty. And we got to see the Pope. And the guy in the barber says, wow, what did the Pope say to you? Then the guy says, it was weird. He leaned over to me and he asked, where'd you get that terrible haircut? So, yeah, that was, yeah. I think it's the first time I ended one of these videos on some sort of joke. Cool. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, turn on notifications on YouTube. I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys who watched and enjoyed today. And hopefully you all have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Get ready to watch The Voice tonight. And hey, I ended up being wrong about the New York Guardians. But actually, hold on. That's actually one thing I never talked about. Holy cow, I never talked about who won yesterday in the evening game. I was wrong about the Guardians, I know that. But I don't know who won the other game. Oh. I ended up being wrong on both games. Okay, so as of right now, the Houston Roughnecks are the only team undefeated. And if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, always give me here, always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.